But also, we got
That's
some AI
incredible.
stuff because this is just as egregious.
Artificial intelligence.
It's not enough to just change the biology because you need the artificial intelligence to guide the new man into the future.
Yes, sir.
Am I reading this or are
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Okay.
Please do. Yeah.
This is coming from wired.com. And it's loading slowly because it's an
Well, I can start
archived
it for you.
page. I got it. Headline: Algorithms quietly run the city of DC. No kidding. And maybe your hometown. Yeah, it's like our government doesn't, our federal government doesn't need to be run by algorithms if the city in which they live and work is run by algorithms. That's a nice way around it. Algorithms quietly run the city of DC and maybe your hometown. The sub-headline, this is from November 3rd, by the way, so fairly new. A new report finds that municipal agencies in Washington deploy dozens of automated decision systems, often without residents' knowledge. Oh, I'm so glad that I am a weird person living out in the desert with no wires that come to this house and two protective emus that I'm certain now are carnivorous. Washington, D.C. is the home base of the most powerful government on Earth. Ooh. It's also home to 690,000 people. That's funny. Yeah. 69, bunch of zeros.
Which, by the way, before you move on, we were stuck at 6,900 subscribers on that YouTube channel when we got that strike.
We've been stuck there for a year at least.
Well,
right?
They haven't allowed us to grow anymore. So, yeah.
You know what? It's so annoying.
Speaking of algorithms.
It's also home to 690,000 people and 29 obscure algorithms that shape their lives. City agencies use automation to screen housing applicants, predict criminal recidivism, identify food assistance fraud, determine if a high schooler is likely to drop out, inform sentencing decisions for young people, and many other things. That entire list is a list of stuff we've covered on this show for the past 6 years.
Yeah. Yep.
That snapshot of a semi-automated urban life comes from a new report from the Electronic Privacy Information Center. The parenthetical, the acronym for this is EPIC. EPIC. Cool. The nonprofit spent 14 months investigating the city's use of algorithms and found they were used across 20 agencies, with more than a third deployed in policing or criminal justice. For many systems, city agencies would not provide full details of how their technology worked or was used. Yeah, no kidding, huh? The project team concluded that the city is likely using still more algorithms that they were not able to uncover. The findings are notable beyond DC because they add to the evidence that many cities have quietly put bureaucratic algorithms to work across their departments, where they can contribute to decisions that affect citizens' lives. Government agencies often turn to automation in hopes of adding efficiency or objectivity to bureaucratic processes, but it's often difficult for citizens to know they are at work. And some systems have been found to discriminate and lead to decisions that ruin human lives. In Michigan, an unemployment fraud detection algorithm with a 93% error rate, 93% error rate, caused 400,000 false fraud allegations.
40,000.
Sorry, yes, 40,000 false fraud allegations. See, it's good we got two of us here.
Yeah.
Keep each other honest here. Caused 40,000 false fraud allegations. A 2020 analysis by Stanford University and New York University found that nearly half of federal agencies are using some form of automated decision-making systems. EPIC dug deep into one city's use of algorithms to give a sense of the many ways they can influence citizens' lives and encourage people in other places to undertake similar exercises. Ben Winters, who leads the nonprofit's work on AI and human rights, says Washington was chosen in part because roughly half the city's residents identify as Black. Quote, More often than not, automated decision-making systems have disproportionate impacts on Black communities, Winters says. The project found evidence that automated traffic enforcement cameras are disproportionately placed in neighborhoods with more Black residents. Cities with significant Black populations have recently played a central role in campaigns against municipal algorithms, particularly in policing. Detroit became an epicenter of debates about face recognition following the false arrest of Robert Williams and Michael Oliver in 2019 after algorithms misidentified them. In 2015, the deployment of face recognition in Baltimore after the death of Freddie Gray in police custody led to some of the first congressional investigations of law enforcement use of the technology. Epic hunted algorithms. Ooh, algorithm hunters. These guys are cool. I gotta learn more about these guys. Epic hunted algorithms by looking for public disclosures by city agencies and also filed public records requests, requesting contracts, data sharing agreements, privacy impact assessments, and other information. 6 out of 12 city agencies responded, sharing documents such as a $295,000 contract with Pondera Systems, owned by Thomson Reuters. Oh, great. Which makes fraud that is awesome to get Thomson Reuters in there, which makes fraud detection software called Fraudcaster used to screen food assistant applicants. Yeah, those are the ones we need to be cracking down on. All those criminals getting free food from the government. Yeah, forget Wall Street, forget the big banks, forget lobbyists, forget all that big stuff. We gotta crack down on those criminal food assistant applicants. Earlier this year, we couldn't possibly give them a free gallon of milk. Earlier this year, California officials found that more than half of 1.1 million claims by state residents that Pondera's software flagged as suspicious were in fact legitimate. 1.1 million people in poverty requesting assistance were falsely flagged as criminals. That's a super cool way to run our society. I'm a huge fan of this. Is this what Susan wants me to say?
Yes, I think so. But the juxtaposition to this is also during the pandemic when California decided how much was it, 40 billion, maybe it's up to 70 billion that fraudsters took from all the stimulus money.
COVID money. Yeah.
So where's the software? Where's the algos for that stuff?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's money and that's all money, by the way, that the Democrats used. I don't even have to make it partisan. What's his face? What's your skeezy governor called?
Newsom? Gavin?
Newsom campaigned. He campaigned on that money.
Yeah, he did.
That was like what got him reelected, was bragging about that money. It was ridiculous. Yeah. Earlier, but in general, agencies were unwilling to share information about their systems, citing trade secrecy and confidentiality that made it nearly impossible to identify every algorithm used in DC. Earlier this year, a Yale Law School project made a similar attempt to count algorithms used by state agencies in Connecticut, but was also hampered by claims of trade secrecy. Epic says governments can help citizens understand their use of algorithms by requiring disclosure anytime a system makes an important decision about a person's life. Yeah, that seems reasonable.
But also dystopian at the same time.
Honestly,
it's like letting you know that you're part of you're being monitored and influenced.
I think disclosure, make it public. Put it on a public board. Or that might not end up well, but I don't know. It's insane. And some elected officials have favored the idea of requiring public registries of automated decision-making systems used by governments. Yeah, that's a good place to start. If this podcasting thing doesn't work out, we just got to learn how to audit AI systems and get these government contracts. These AI systems need to be audited. And I think as a regulator, Gons will be first in line to get all those sweet government bribes. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a moneymaker right there.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know if I feel comfortable about that. But although I think
I don't know if I'm good enough at math for that.
Yeah, well, I think what Elon is trying to do with Twitter is sort of that decentralized identity thing, or identifier, I guess. It's called the DID. Have you seen this? DID, decentralized identifier.
Yeah, he's trying to make Twitter the digital ID thing, but trying to do it in a way that is
not totalitarian, is very challenging.
Not the beast system Chinese Communist Party thing. Yeah, we'll see. Last sentence here. Last month, lawmakers in Pennsylvania, where a screening algorithm had accused low-income parents of neglect. How does that? What could an algorithm possibly deduce about somebody's parenting style? Proposed an algorithm registry law. Yeah, I'm going to tweet this right now. This might be the most important story that has come out maybe in our lifetime, Gons. I'm just going to go ahead and tweet this right now. I can't believe nobody else is doing this.
I knew that you would find it interesting, and the article goes on here. It does give a little bit more, but
does it? It ends for me.
To say that it's perhaps the most important article in our generation.
It's the most important article. I mean, it's 6 years of our career, Gons, talking about these exact things and how they are coming and how this is happening. And it basically has happened, is here, and is happening so secretly that it's not even being talked about once it's reported. It was reported 4 days ago. And for me to not see this reported 4 days, for me to not see this the morning the second I wake up and my eyes open,
the ultimate measuring stick of the importance of stories is true. Basil's alert.
I see it all, baby. Eyes this big and this googly. I see it all, and when I don't, there's trouble in the water.
Funky Town. All right.
Funky Town. All right. Anything else you want to say about this?
Other than it's incredibly disturbing, and there's nothing we can do about it apparently, because we can't vote anything out. Everyone's freaking out about the election. Well, what about the people in charge of just implementing AI and algos into all kinds of government infrastructure? I mean, who's
been talking about
who's auditing any of this?
And who audits the auditors?
Then who audits the auditors?
An AI. We get the AI to audit the auditors.
Also, AI is God.
Then the auditors audit the AI, and then when you get to the very end of it, you kind of do that thing like they do at the World Cup in soccer. You get an octopus in a tank and put the flag of the auditors on one side, the flag of the AI on the other side, and we let an octopus decide who wins. I think that might be the fairest system. I think I just decided. And then you make that octopus fight a robotic arm. And I think I'm really onto something. I'm going to put this all in my book. That'll be out next year. How to solve all the world's problems.